with other leaders from the Jubilee coalition pertaining to the matter of one of our colleagues who has filed a petition at the Judicial Service Commission in line with Article 168(3) of the Constitution, 2 and 3 of the Constitution. The Honorable Wambogo, Member of Parliament for Nyeri Town constituency. And as you have reported yesterday, we want to say first categorically that that was not a decision reached by the Jubilee Party and its affiliates within its structures, that is the parliamentary group meeting, and within the structures of its leadership. In as far as his rights are concerned as a citizen and as a member of parliament, both in the standing orders and in the constitution, where any member, any citizen can either petition parliament or can petition the Judicial Service Commission or can even petition the Public Service Commission. That is the reading of the Constitution. Because, for example, if you want to petition the removal of the Director of Public Prosecution, you will petition the Public Service Commission. If you want to petition the removal of any judge by the citizen or by any person, even a member of parliament, then you go through Article 168, sub-Article 2 and 3. And of course, Parliament within its standing orders, every day we receive petitions. So, number one, categorically, it's not a Jubilee affair, and is currently in Nakuru, in Sagana. Is part of the Central Kenyan leadership who are meeting the president. We have spoken to him, and we will have discussion with him. But for now, and I'm sure that is why yesterday some of us did not want to comment, we can now authoritatively say that it's not a petition that emanated from either the leadership or from the parliamentary group meeting of both houses. So we will talk to him if he feels that is his right as per the Constitution. Then, but for us, we want number two. We want to talk to our colleagues, the Jubilee members of Parliament, that our focus as a party and its affiliate, our focus now is none other than the campaign for the October 17 presidential elections. We want to tell our colleagues that let us forget other issues, let's forget the sideshows, let us deal with the re-election of President Uhuru Kenyatta come October 17, 2017. So those are two issues, and I'll ask my colleague, Honorable Chiko, to comment to one or two things.
Are we still okay? Thank you very much. First of all, I totally associate myself with the comments of my counterpart, Honorable Duale, and that is the position of the leadership of the parliamentary group of Jubilee. Yesterday you covered a section of parliamentarians from Nyanza region who reacted to the petition, and as they spoke, it is true, our parliamentary group did not sit down, nor the Jubilee leadership, to petition against Justice Maraga. Having said that, I want to make it abundantly clear that I've had the occasion to read that petition. It raises very weighty matters, issues that are integral in judicial integrity, matters that are related to the conduct of a very important office of the Chief Justice, and goes to the core of our constitutional structure as a country. I must also make it abundantly clear that that's not the first petition that has gone to the judiciary. Our colleagues, our friends in the leadership of ODM have petitioned the courts in the cases of Justice Ndungu, in the case of Justice Ojwang, in the case of Justice Maraga, just in December last year, and he didn't receive this kind of attention that has been given to the petition of Wambugu, Honorable Wambugu. Nobody even actually tried to associate Raila Odinga with the petition itself. It is suspect that people are quickly pointing to the leadership of Jubilee when a member who has constitutional right to raise any matter for this republic raises issues that he thinks they are weighty. We find it suspect as the leadership of Jubilee that the quickest thing to do is to say he's not acting on his own, is acting on behalf of Jubilee. Yet, when a NASA official filed similar petitions, which are still pending before Judicial Service Commission, nobody, not a single person, tried to associate it with the leadership of NASA. I think as a country, we must learn to have certain level of consistency when dealing with matters of constitutional importance like this. Number three is to say that Judicial Service Commission has the capacity and the ability to deduce what is truth and what is not, and will be able to advise accordingly in terms of considering the petition of Wambugu. Be it as it may, we must make it abundantly clear that we've never applied our mind to the application itself and petition itself. However, my quick reading shows that it raises very weighty matters that would be canvassed by the necessary institutions and make the necessary findings in the same manner that Apollo Mboya's petitions in the Supreme Court to the Judicial Service Commission raises similar weighty matters that Judicial Service Commission is going to consider, and I don't think one petition is better than the other. Honorable Wambugu, in his personal capacity, as Honorable Duale has told you, we have had a conversation, a telephone conversation with him, and he has made it clear that he was passionate about his application, and that the issues he has raised, he believes in them. And therefore, like Honorable Duale is saying, the concentration of Jubilee leadership is not at the moment matters related to the Supreme Court, because we suffered the consequence of that decision. We don't agree with it, but there's a greater focus in terms of the elections of 17th of October, which are more important to us than focusing on the petition at this particular time. That is actually the position of the leadership of Jubilee Parliamentary Group, having widely consulted with a greater latitude of the members of the party.
Yes, Ken Mujungu.
You said you would continue to speak to him. Is this with the view of prevailing upon him if he so deems fit to withdraw it? And then secondly, the Jubilee Party, with none less than the President, has spoken about the conduct of Justice Maraga, and obviously even Senator Murkomen has tweeted about Justice Maraga and said, mark my words, it will never be business as usual, not verbatim, and obviously this also counts. Don't you think that one ties in the gaps? And obviously we can read, or whoever is looking at the consistency of the attack can read the hand of the top leadership of Jubilee in this.
I think before I give to Honorable Murkomen, you are the one who's putting the dots and putting them together. Ken, from the way you're saying it. We are here in as far as the petition of Wambugu, which is a serious public discussion. And we said we have spoken, because you have seen yesterday we told our members not to comment because we have not seen the petition itself. And two, we have just had a discussion with Honorable Wambugu and a cross-section of the members, the rank and the file membership of Jubilee. So we will still consult him. I mean, if he agrees to drop it, it's fine. If he doesn't, but our position is very, very clear that as a coalition, particularly the parliamentary group meeting, we have a structure in which we had a PG on Tuesday where we discussed a number of issues. We have a structure in which we can tell the difference between when even a motion or a bill is a party sponsored or when it is an individual members sponsored. Even within the reading of the standing orders, I'm a member of the House Business Committee. Party-sponsored petitions and motions and bills, they stand a better chance to be discussed in the House within 7 days than when a member of Parliament has. So here we have come to make it very, very clear to the country that it is not the position of the rank and the file of the leadership of Jubilee that that petition was by an individual member. On the one that the history and the connections, I think I'll leave it to that. That is your own analogy, and it's not an analogy of the Jubilee Party.
Sorry, let me just add something to that, Ken. It is indeed my personal belief and belief of the leadership of Jubilee, I hope so, listening to many things that people have said, that after a decision that happened and in the manner in which it happened in the Supreme Court, going forward, we must look at the law, look at the law reform. Every time when there is a momentous time, like the decision we saw, things never remain the same. You have to think about, for example, is it right to tell people that we have made a judgment to overturn the will of the people and tell them go and wait for 21 days without concrete reasons? So that, and I can say this here, we are now living in speculation. Every issue that is debated in the public, for example, people are asking themselves, is it possible that the NASA brigade that are telling us Chiloba and certain group must go, is it possible that they are going to get validation from the judges and they are aware they will work with the judges to improve the judgment? You see, you can't tell people, I have made a decision, I'm yet to read the volumes of evidence that's before me. Nevertheless, I've overturned the decision. Go and wait for judgment for 21 days. Meanwhile, the other political actors are already saying, the Supreme Court has said, you must remove certain people. And by the way, I'm waiting. Tuesday is not too far. I'm waiting to see if that judgment will say indict any single official of IBC in person. It will be because NASA said so. If they are going to do the things that we have debated in public and go and fill the gaps, it will be just because, you know, they are busy watching on TV, Murkomen has questioned one or two things, they fill the gaps. Orengo has raised a certain issue to make it a matter of truth, he go and fills the gaps. There can't be a situation like this as a nation where 2013, people are talking about 2013. 2013, there is nothing the judges were overturning. There was no, they were not altering the status quo. They were agreeing with IBC. So there was no need even to give reasons beforehand. But when you are overturning a decision of 15 million people, you can't tell me citizens of this republic will continue with this manner of delivery of judgments in future. You can't also tell me that in future we will be just staying put and saying, we will be told, oh, you know, numbers don't matter. Processes will matter. The ballot paper doesn't matter. It is the stamp on it, on the form that is transmitting matter. That elections don't matter. It is the transmission that matters. I mean, and we will sit here, accept election laws to remain as they are. So those things will change, Ken. And as I said on my Twitter, it will never remain the same. We cannot just allow, in a cavalier manner, a Supreme Court to overturn a decision and then go and fill the gaps as the debate goes on in public. You can't have a country that is going to have that manner of issues. But that is not for now. That's why we've said, as at now, our focus is the re-election of President Uhuru Kenyatta. Our focus is issues about in fact, in all those issues we discussed, we never said at any point we are removing a judge. We talked about disagreeing with the decisions of the court and whether certain changes must be done in the law, the constitution, to accommodate those issues.
Yes, the timing of the petition, it has raised a lot of questions. When you say you're talking to Honorable Wambogo, obviously it is to maybe ask him to withdraw the petition. Yesterday there was a news conference by key members of parliament, and they're saying they want to be enjoined in that petition. Actually, key Jubilee members of parliament. Is this quote-unquote change of heart meant to assuage their fears, insulate a region where you got votes in the last sentence? Is your decision to withdraw the petition more political than anything?
three questions at once.
Okay, can we have another question? But let me answer so that I don't forget. Number one. Number one, part of your questions, I think the best person to answer is Honorable Wambugu himself. Whether he will withdraw or not. Number two, whether a petition is there or not, we'll still go and campaign in Kisiland. I mean, Raila Odinga came out openly castigating the character and the personality of one Matiangi. Is he not a Kisi?
Even Maraga.
And Maraga at one time. The person who petitioned JAC for the removal of Maraga in December, I think December, January, is Apollo Mboya, a close confidant of Raila Odinga. Are you telling me that Raila Odinga will not go and still look for votes from Kisi? And finally, to answer your third question, petitions to the Judicial Service Commission cannot be enjoined. If you read the law very carefully, it's not like you can be enjoined in a court case. That was a petition, and once that person has filed it, it's for the Judicial Service Commission, in the shortest possible time, either to throw away that petition based on the threshold, or to proceed and give the person petitioned to give his other side of the story. So for us, that's why we are saying our focus is on how to win the October 17 general election. On Wednesday, or I think Wednesday, the president met over 10,000 delegation from Kisii, from the Abagusi community. So we are on track. We are campaigning in Gusiland, Gashuri, notwithstanding what one of our colleagues. But there is something very important that we are making within the parliamentary structures. There is a parliamentary position, parliamentary group position, and there is an individual member position. I think that is what you, the media, wanted to know since yesterday. All of you are calling me. Is this the position of the party? Or is the position of an eligible member of parliament? So this morning, we have come to answer your question.
Maybe the last two.
The last two. Rosa?
Yes, my concern is this. As a party, this is not the position of Jubilee. But Honorable Wambugu is a member of Jubilee.
Yeah.
And you said that in his individual capacity, he is allowed to petition JSC for parliament or PLD. So why the concern with Jubilee? Because he's just an individual. He have just gone ahead and petitioned just like
why the concern? Okay. You people raise the concern. Last night he was saying he's been sent by Uhuru Kenyatta. He was saying it's Jubilee. So we are coming to answer your concern. And that's the last one.
There is a comment. You will record that having hinted at our process to disband the Supreme Court, and more specifically, we say that the CJ and the CRJ should be removed from office. I just wanted to know whether you are still pursuing the
CRJ is what?
Chief Registrar.
Chief Registrar, okay, yeah, that's true. Okay.
I just wanted to know whether you are still pursuing the same line of the
Mimo?
Just separate from this particular issue, this with regard to the NASA disposition that they will not be meeting IBC.
We'll come to that.
We'll come to that.
Let's answer this. No, Ken, you had your time.
No, Ken, you had your time. Let's
give the last person. Yeah.
I will answer you that.
The last one.
Yesterday, when we were moving a motion on the presidential debate in the Senate, you said clearly that you are planning to sponsor a bill or a
I think I've repeated, yeah.
Supreme Court does not plan election.
First of all, let me just say this. I never said that we were putting a process to remove the Chief Justice or the Registrar of the Court. And I think I want to repeat it. I said that there is a contradiction on the part of NASA or our competitors. Every time they attack an institution like Supreme Court as they did, when they get what they want because they have already intimidated the court, they now step back and say that court is good, let's go and attack IEBC. Now, they believe the two institutions are separate and independent. And I remember saying it publicly, if we are going to be removing institutions or people who are serving institutions on an account of the fact that we didn't get what we wanted, then it would mean that if you remove the Chief Justice, you remove the chairman. If you remove the chairman of IEBC, you remove the Chief Justice. If you remove the CEO of IEBC, remove the Chief Registrar. So that then you can demonstrate that it is not because you are unhappy with... When Raila was not happy with Maraga, he made it clearly that 7 people cannot, the will of the people cannot be subjected to the hands of 7 people. I think he succeeded to intimidate the Supreme Court. He got what he wants. After that, he said, this is the hand of God. Now, let me go and attack IEBC so that I get what I get, and then I say, this is the hand of God. That is the contradiction I was actually trying to say. That is a contradiction that we must not allow to stay in this republic. And they talk about, I have repeated myself, and I need to repeat again, that we cannot remain like this. We cannot say judgments will be waiting 21 days. There must be curtailment of that discretion to just tell people go and stay and sleep and imagine. You throw IEBC under the bus without giving the details of what happened and leave the litigants to fill the gap. And as I said, and I'm repeating, if that gap which has been filled by the petitioner in the manner in which he's saying, I want 1, 2, 3 about IEBC. In fact, I want to say this. The statement by NASA that there shall be no elections is not a statement, an innocent statement. It's a choreographed statement waiting the judgment of Supreme Court. And when that judgment comes out and leads to a situation of anarchy and uncertainty, and a situation of making it impossible for election to be held, it will be so apparent to the public that what we have been saying all along, that the whole decision around this matter was pre-planned and pre-organized, will now come into fore. And so I am asking you to be patient, just like I'm still patient. The things we hear from NASA are not innocent. Let's wait for the day the judgment will be delivered. If they fill the gap that NASA has been raising, then you will come back to my statement here. I'm sure you will have it on record and you will replay it.
I think you have asked a question about what we have said, and we will still repeat, that any community, Kenya is composed of communities, that no individual politician will be given a chance to profile members of another community. Every public servant, particularly constitutional office holders, the procedure for their removal, including the judiciary, is well stipulated in law. So you cannot remove individuals and profile individuals from other communities by mentioning their names in many press conferences and funerals and whatever you call it, and rallies. That's our position. If Chiloba, if Chepukati, or if even the Chief Justice for that matter, and any other constitutional office holder has committed a crime, there are procedures laid down in law for their removal. That's what we're saying. On the issue of Amimo, we don't want to speak. The problem with the media, you ask us questions that should have been asked IEBC, because we, the Jubilee members, we are not IEBC. NASA was talking to IEBC, but because you have asked for us, anytime we are called, whether through stakeholder, through boardroom meetings, any consultation that IEBC will call us to engage, we will go, and we will go at the level. We have raised our level of attendance, if you have seen last time. From Murkomen and Duale and Tuju, it has gone now to the Deputy President. So in future, if we feel that we should even raise that level, we are ready to bring the President. But for now, the Deputy President will lead our team for any engagement. And IEBC has said, between now and the election date, 17th of October, we will be engaging the stakeholders every Tuesday. So we hope they will keep to that time. I mean, they should call us, we have agreed they should send us the agenda, and we discuss. It is for the benefit of all the 19 million Kenyan voters who want to go to the election on the 17th of October. Thank you very much. Some of our colleagues want to go to attend meetings in Nyen constituency. Yeah. Asante sana.